Welcome back if you're returning. Today we are looking for items for an office makeover and a bedroom makeover. I have specific items in mind, and we went to a place we've never been to before, a place called Watertown Antique Market. It's in a little town called Waterford. It's not an awful lot going on there. It's very picturesque. But this place was really nice. It was an old warehouse. It was an extremely hot day. This place was not air conditioned. It had a few fans here and there. So there was not as much video as I would have liked because it was just so hot. But let's have a look. I'll show you what I picked up at the end. So price-wise, this place wasn't too bad. I'm finding a lot of the thrift stores have got some ridiculous prices these days. So unless it's a great price or it's something that I really, really want, then I haven't been picking stuff up. But as I said, I'm not picking up any dishes or transferware anymore unless it's something spectacular that I haven't got and I can't live without. But mostly I'm looking for specific items and items that can be moved with me should that time arise, or will resell should we decide to go to France full time. But I digress. This place was full of great stuff. There was some beautiful, again, a lot of the usual stuff, the glasses and the transferware, but they did have some really lovely cabinets with some stuff in. There was a lot of costume jewelry and clothing at this particular one, which is a little unusual. They don't tend to this because that's very specific. This sign was amazing. It was a really big one, and I'm not sure if these were handmade or they'd picked them up, but it looked great. It was enormous, and I thought if you had a nice big mudroom, it's a great idea. You could actually reproduce this for a third of the cost. I think it was about $400 they wanted for it. This bench was lovely as well. I think it was about $300, but obviously I won't be picking that up. As we were walking around, my husband made a point. He said we should start to pick things up. Obviously, they're not too heavy, but things that antiques and items that are very specifically North American and American that we wouldn't necessarily get in Europe. The next one is a perfect example. The bull horse. Every time I see these, I always think of Texas. You don't see that type of thing in the UK. Well, I haven't seen much of them on my travels. You see more taxidermy and items like that. So we're going to do that, obviously, as to take with us should we decide to stay there. We've got sort of remembrance of living in Canada for most of our lives. This uranium glass absolutely took me by storm. Honestly, I looked at it. It looked like somebody plugged it in. I don't know whether I like this stuff or not. It's cool, but I don't know. I Tell me what you think about it. Seeing it in that cabinet all lit up, it was just weird to see it, but it is kind of cool. I don't know whether I'd buy it, but it is cool. These little Toby jugs are really quite cute. I always think of those being typically British. There's lots of items that you see and it automatically makes you think of a specific company. Obviously, tea bags, where does that come from? These glasses were cool. I think they were $4 each. I picked them up and I actually have 2 sets of them, and I think I got them when they were 50 cents at the local thrift store. So there are bargains still to be had, maybe not so much anymore, but they are out there. Love these radios. This clock, I have something very similar to it that I picked up for $10. It's got all its parts, but it doesn't work. Now, I was thinking of refitting it with something for Halloween, but I've seen so many of them and the prices are quite good. I don't know whether I should attempt repairing it and selling it, but well, we'll decide when Halloween comes around. These couple of desk sets were beautiful. This is, I think it's Victorian. Yeah, 1890. It's brass. It's gorgeous. The price wasn't too bad. And this was gorgeous as well. Very, very Victorian. And that was, how much was it? About 200, I should imagine. Yeah, 184. I love them. But I've got a couple, and for that money, well, I wouldn't spend that much money on them. This was really funny because from a distance it looked really quite pretty, and I got up close, it just got uglier and uglier. The lamp was $285, and it was Capodimonte, and I remember my mom having Capodimonte figures in her living room, so it just shows everything goes around. This little spooky magic, I love this. I picked this up. I thought this would be perfect for Halloween, and I think the kids might enjoy it as well. If I saw one boat picture, I saw 15. Now, whether it's me and they're just catching my eye because I've themed the laundry room on boats and I've got quite a few boat pictures, or whether it just happens to be that there are a lot of them around, I'm not sure. Let me know if you find the same thing, whether it's with boat pictures or some other item. I did have a little rummage in things. I do like to look through these little bags and baskets with shiny, sparkly things in. I never find anything amazing, unlike Tarnished Treasures, who always seems to find the best stuff. I've also like notions and threads and old sewing things, but I don't seem to find them, and especially not for a good price. Again, it's been a few years. I loved these glasses. They were so autumnal, and it's hard to believe now as we're going around, some of the stores are starting to stock up on fall and Halloween. I suppose it's only weeks away really, but the summer seems to have gone by so quickly. This little store was cute, but a piece of trim with a couple of hooks and a dowel for $18. Yeah, I don't get it. There were some other cute little items in this. Everything was painted white, which is nice, but I like a bit of colour, as you well know. This was kind of cute. I'm not sure what it was, obviously with the candles in. And I do love a good cheese bowl. But I do have a few of them. I'll put my butter in them. So I won't be buying any more of those. There was some beautiful little vintage baby clothes. Was so cute. And they were white. I remember when my kids were little, if I bought anything white, it didn't stay white for long. Do you remember my cloche episode of a couple of weeks ago? Well, I found a few of those around with various items in that look very similar to the ones I'd made, but the prices were quite extortionate. I saw this little guy and I thought he was the perfect match to the little lamp that I picked up a few weeks ago and made the lampshade for the living room, so he came home with me as well. This was a room that was set off to one side, and I walked into it and it was so beautiful. Everything was pale, it was white, it was pastels, there was pinks and blues, and to me it looked how I imagined a French farmhouse to look. Everything muted, the big wooden table, the bricks painted, the beams on the ceiling. It was gorgeous, and a bit of a departure from my style, but I did like it, especially because it was so calm. So it is a look that I'm thinking about for the future, to have not as much colour, maybe toning things down and changing my style just a little bit for the next house, but we shall see. I actually took the picture of this mirror because it was so pretty, but then when I looked back at the reflection in the mirror, it looks so cool. I love to see things reflected in mirrors, in pictures. I think it's such a lovely look. This Chinese board was beautiful as well. It looked to me as if it had come off an old cupboard, which is a shame, but it was very, very pretty. This area was amazing. It was completely devoted to various wars and militaria. It was fantastic. There were some items in this that I would have really, really liked. All the old regimental uniforms from all over the world. This flag was gorgeous. I think it was $300, so that's not going to happen. But there were medals, there were things from all around the world that you imagine sailors picking up on their travels. And then all the uniforms, just beautiful, and they were in such lovely condition. So this is my thrift haul. This is what I picked up. Most of it was picked up at the antique market, but there was a couple of items that I'd got at home from previous thrift hauls that I missed out. This little jug it's beautiful. It's very bright yellow. My husband picked this up for his water when he has a whiskey. And if we still had the bar, it would take pride of place. It looks so nice, and like I said, the colour is so vibrant. It's very, very pretty. I picked up a few different things, a bit of a mixture here. I always look for material. I pretty well always pick up material because I use so much of it in everything that I do. We'll start with these scissors. I have been looking for a pair of scissors like this for maybe 2-3 years. I have a set at home, the string and the scissors have been missing from it. I picked it up. This was, I think, was $9. Beautiful, and it's still sharp. It's lovely. This little box was 75 cents. I love to pick up boxes because they can be painted, they can be decoupaged, you can do all sorts with them. So I will be using that in an upcoming video. Picked up this little I guess it's not a handkerchief. I would say it's a little placemat. The embroidery on it is beautiful. It's a lovely pink, soft pink. This was 50 cents. This was in a thrifted at my local thrift store a few weeks ago. This hat was a campaign hat, and I've been nuts about this whole colonial look since I picked up that campaign desk that I made over a few weeks ago. So I picked this up. This was $3, I think, at the local thrift store. I picked this up a few weeks ago, and I forgot to throw it into my thrift haul, but that is going actually in the office, the one that I'll be showing you today. I liked this picture. I liked the shape of it. This was $3, and the day I bought this was 50% off, so it was $1.50. I don't particularly like the picture. It's a bit hand drawn, but I picked it up anyway. This was a nice one. I thought this would go perfectly in the hallway with my William Morris, and that was $1. This was beautiful, so typically autumnal. I'm not sure where it's going to go yet. This was $1. The day I picked it up, it was all artwork was 50% off, and this says it was numbered by Robert Wood, and it's called October Morn, and yeah, really like that. Can't wait to put that up in the fall. Henry VIII was $8. This is stitched, it's embroidered, and I love that. So that's going in the office as well. I just thought I know it's not everybody's taste, but I really, really enjoy these needlepoint pictures. They always remind me of tapestries. So yeah, pick that up, and that has gone in the office. There is the Spooky Magic book. Now this was a little bit more than I thought it was. When I looked at the price on the back, it said it was $6.95. When I actually left cash, they charged me $12 for it. But it's a cute book, and wow, it's a vintage book. This piece of material was, I think I got this from Goodwill, and I think it was $5.99, but it's a nice big piece, and I'm thinking one of the bedrooms is going to be in red florals. I've got a couple of different materials that I just need to tie together with something now. Also found this tablecloth. This was $5, but it is absolutely beautiful. It was actually stuffed in the bottom of the bag, so it's very creased, but the needlework on it is gorgeous, and it's got the four corners, an oval, and I'm going to put that on my table downstairs one of these days. So when it's all clean and iron, you'll see how beautiful this is. This is a lovely big bolt of fabric. I couldn't walk away from this. This was $3. Now, whether there's enough to make curtains or a bedspread, I don't know, but the colour was beautiful and the fabric was lovely, so I brought that home with me as well. And then this was the little gentleman lamp. This was $14.95. The actual post needs to be touched up with a bit of gold paint, but the little marble, here you go, vintage lamp made in Italy, $14.95, and there you go. So he is going to get a new shade, and he's going to sit the other side of the fireplace opposite my other little lampshade with my other little lady. So that will be in an upcoming video. Here's a quick craft. I decided, because I'm moving the office, I wanted a new mouse pad. I would have loved a William Morris one. I thought, rather than spend $30, let me see if I can make my own. So I have the mouse pad, I have this lovely William Morris paper, I have a brush, and I have some Mod Podge. Let's see how that turns out later on in the video. This is a little project I've been wanting to do for a little while. I've picked this up within the last 6 months. I'm not sure exactly what it is. It's more of a architectural piece, and it's for the wall. I suppose it would have had a number in it at some point. I touched it up with 2 different golds. I've got a Venetian gold and a copper gold in various places. Just on the raised areas, there's some roses over on the side and leaves. And then in the centre, I have these transfer letters. So I thought, Lindsay's Recycle Bliss, that's what I'm going to put right in the centre, and then I'm going to put it either up in the laundry room, sorry, not in the laundry room, in the office, or in the other bedroom that I'm making over for next week's video. So these transfers are quite old, so it took a little bit of work to get them unstuck, but you'll see how it turns out afterward. It looks really lovely. So I started with the R in the centre, and then put the L and the B on either side, and it was all perfectly centred to the circle. Once that was done, I just re-went over everything in the Venetian gold and the copper, just to touch up all of the highest parts. So this is the office move and makeover. So my office was downstairs, the back of the house in the library. It wasn't ideal. I have moved it up to previously unseen. This is the front bedroom. It's the smallest room in the house, but it is perfect. I've moved my desk. There's already a shelf in there. I brought the record player up. I've moved artwork from around the house. This room is 100% thrifted. These tapestries came from the living room. I have them all up here. The curtains are my William Morris curtains that I thrifted the material. That was a couple of years ago, and those were in the last house in the library. As I said, everything in here, obviously other than the computer, it has been thrifted. So when you get to the window, you'll see there's 2 lace panels. These are actually cafe curtains that I bought in panels for 50 cents each. They just happen to be the perfect length, and I put them on the side. So the scalloped bit is supposed to be hanging down, but I've put it down the centre, and it looks so pretty. The little wall, that little shelf was something I picked up last week for $2. That I think looks great, and I was worried about the blue on the wall, but I love the dark against the blue, so I might leave it for a while. I was thinking this room would look better in darker colours, and maybe for the winter, if we're still here, I will do that, but for the time being, I think I'm going to leave it the way it is. And I think you'll agree the mouse pad turned out really quite well. I'll see how it goes over the next week, but I am pleased with how this has turned out. So this, as I said, is the smallest room in the house, and in the UK we used to call them box rooms. You could fit a single bed in it, but not much else. So it's the perfect room for an office. As I said, these are the tapestries that I had in the living room. I've changed a few pictures around in the living room, mostly getting ready for fall. you know, I do change my artwork around as the year goes by. Again, there's the picture of Henry VIII. I grabbed one of my typewriters from the library downstairs and put that on top of this little bookshelf. I do have loads and loads of baskets. When I was doing the laundry room last week, I did unearth a few more that hadn't been used, so it's nice to get them in use again. The shelf is, I decided to put my camera collection. It was a little tight in the curio cabinet downstairs, so it's nice to have them all on the shelf where you can see them. So I've just got little bits. There's the scissors, and that's what I picked that up, like I said, about 2 years ago, probably longer than that now, and I've been waiting to find those scissors. So the scissors were a perfect fit. I'm very pleased with that. And then I've got all my vintage record collection to go with the record player. Well, thanks so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget, if you haven't already, subscribe and press the thumbs up. Really helps me out. Hopefully I will have some updated news about France next week. I will also have a bedroom makeover and a few more things that have been upcycled from my thrift haul. So have a great week, and we'll see you next time.